Welcome to Ilson Hubert. This is an incredible map recreating the lab from Jurassic World Rebirth right here in Jurassic World Evolution 2. This was made by the Congaminator, probably Congaminator, and I'll link that down below in the description of the video if you want to go check it out for yourselves and give it a little play around. I've not seen anyone else do this so far, and it's a really, really good recreation, as that initial helicopter shot may have revealed. Now we're going to walk in through what looked like basically the only main path into the park, and we'll have a little look around. We've just approached the main complex. I'm just going to push myself through the wilderness over here. Made it through the wilderness so we can see the dam area. So this is the big old dam we see at the very opening of the film, and as you can see, they've used these tanks. They use these gas tank thingamajiggies to kind of recreate the pipes that feed. It feels like the whole facility runs on hydroelectric power of some description. Maybe this is funneling water in and funneling water out for, you know, having clean water, etc., etc. But yeah, it's really good. And considering this is Evolution 2, right? Wait until we get to Evolution 3 and we've got so much more control. This, of course, had to be made via mods, but it's going to be even easier next time around. It's going to be very, very cool beans, as the kids say, probably. Right, so let's zoom forward a little bit and let's have a... I mean, this is beautiful stuff. You can see there's a real focus on these big, tall, rounded sort of mountain tops covered in foliage, just like we get in the film. It's that very Southeast Asian, Thailand sort of filming location that has a lot of this sort of area. And this is the... we'll zoom out a little bit later on, but I just want to have a little poke around to kick things off. So we've got our lagoon, we've got our main facility over here on the right hand side. We'll recognize a few of these buildings as well in just a second. You see this is the waterway feeding the dock area, and you can see all this kind of stuff over here. We've got this pipe thing here, and then there's like generator built into the floor. Very, very cool. We can nip down here a little bit. We've got the, I think this is probably meant to be the gas station. Actually, I don't know that for sure, but I mean, that is built to look like a gas station right there, isn't it? These are the two pumps. There's the building there. And you got the lights sitting atop, and of course they'd be standing here. Mutadons would zoom down over here. The lights would flick on and we'd be eaten alive, which is fun for the whole family. The cars, of course, pretty appropriate. Actually, these Biosyn vehicles are not that far removed from the ones that they use in Jurassic World Rebirth. I just love the pipe work. You see everything is connected via these pipes. And look at that. Look how neat and tidy all this is over here. All these pipes going off into the wilderness. Of course, they followed those pipes to get to the facility in the first place. That was one of the earlier plot points in the film. Now, I suspect I can't... I mean, can I walk onto the... I can walk onto the docks, sort of. I get a little... Okay, I'm stuck now. There we go. We've got this sort of waterway area. We've got the bridge over the top. I probably can't walk up there. No, that's not going to work. So over here on the other side, we've got this kind of display feature, this kind of rocky wall full of foliage, as you can see. And this is very cool. This is the bunker area sort of thing, I think. This is actually one of the very first things we ever saw for this film. I don't know how they've done this, but it's really well done to have these sort of grass foliage sort of walls in the old InGen style bunker. And I think the very first image we ever saw for this film was David Koepp. No, it wasn't David Koepp, it was one of the producers. I can't remember who. Oh, Frank Marshall, with his back against one of these buildings as he was working on the film. And that was over a year ago at this point in time. So that's that building there. And we can have a little look around the place from above, like so. So there you can see the entire facility. Like I say, if you wanted to, you could maybe, you know, use this lagoon as a park and then maybe add an exhibit here and here and kind of, you know, live in this world where they've converted this lab into a functional Jurassic Park. I think it's a really fun build sort of idea. You can see the pipes all head off down there into the wilderness, over here for the generator, pipes over there as well heading off into the wilderness, all contained within the concrete, all very... Seriously, this might not look like a big deal, but this takes absolutely ages using the tools we have in the game at the moment. It's really, really well done. And I particularly like it as you fly in over here, and you've got the big wall in front of you with the pipes feeding into the water like so, and over there into the rest of the wilds. And this would be the sort of the main facility, I suppose. This would be actually where the D-Rex this is probably meant to be where the D-Rex broke out at some point. Maybe it's not that safe. You see at nighttime, all lights up. This is after the power rather inexplicably came back on during the film. It almost felt like the Mutadons did it for dramatic effect. You know what I'd love? Like people mock me a lot for saying that I really want like more first-person mechanics in these games, and I accept that they're never really going to happen. It's not what the games are about. It's just something I personally really enjoy. I do take it as a, you know, this is not likely to ever be a thing. You know, we're not likely to ever be hunted down by our own dinosaurs. I think that would be really cool, but it's not likely to ever happen unless Kai can get it into the game. But if the first-person mode had a body and like a hand with the flashlight and stuff like that, that would be pretty cool. That would be a nice middle ground between the two, I think. What's he doing? What is bro doing? That would be a nice, because that would feel more like an actual person exploring our park and less like a godly figure, you know, and that's always what I'm trying to avoid in these games. So that would be nice. That's my middle ground offering. Not that I have any power or control over that whatsoever, but still, where's he gone? There's a D-Rex out here somewhere. It's the same D-Rex, of course, we covered. Actually, unironically, where's I'm kind of like trying to build it up for dramatic effect, but then I've actually lost him in the process. D-Rex? Where have you gone, buddy? T-Rex? Oh, there you are. You have no interest in the facility, do you? Oh, the best we're gonna get. This is low. See, this game could be so good as like a first-person horror game. This is low-key terrifying. Walking into the long grass. I'm sure there's a quote about that at some point, that you shouldn't walk into the long grass. Oh, there you are. Oh my god, hello. I'm trying to get it to walk around the facility and then I can approach it and it looks spooky, but every time I put it anywhere, it walks off into the bloody wilderness. It's a very, very... Oh, it's sleepy. It's a very, very impressive D-Rex mod. It really is. You know, the only reason I keep pushing for all these first-person features is that we don't have it. You know, this is the only game where we can actually do this kind of thing. Until Prehistoric Kingdom gets mods, and then I'll advocate for it in that as well. You know, it's just not something we can do, so I want to see it. It's great. The first-person mode is like my favourite part of these games, because I want to feel like I'm in... I don't want to be a god hand. I want to feel like I'm in the park that I create. You know, I want to walk around it, feel like a scared, squishy little human. I think as well, you may have seen on the channel back in the day that I was doing a bit of a analog horror sort of thing for Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, and it was a lot of work, and so I kind of stopped doing it. But I'm sleepy today. Oh god, wait, are you sleeping? Having a little scratch. This would be a really cool place to do it as well. You can flick between all the cameras. You can sort of recreate scenes from the film. You can have a little body cam following the D-Rex and stuff like that. Are you actually having another nap? Having a sit down, I think. I say this looks great. This brings me joy. You know, this inherently brings me joy. Right. I mean, there isn't really much else to say on this. I think it's just really, really impressive work, and it deserved to be showcased. So you can now build, and you know what? You know, you've got all this park remaining. Look at all this space we still have to work with over here. If you wanted, you could expand this and do other Rebirth-themed things. Build an exhibit into a mountain. Build, you know, a bigger waterway. It's going to be so much better when we have deep water and hopefully boats down the line as well. You know, build waterways, fill it with boats, have a T-Rex attack a raft, all this kind of jazz down the line. But for now, I just think this is very impressive and deserved a little bit of love. Here's the page for it if you want to go check it out for yourselves, and you can see, clicking on this link, just how close the two are as the entrance sort of thing. It's a tough thing to do. It's a tough thing to get right, considering our limitations. And, you know, you can see how close this is here. Just look at this bit around here. With that, there's the grassy sort of building on the left. You know, we don't often get this like zoom in, or well, at least until the film comes out digital. This kind of thing is hard to get. But if you just look at this image, And then look at this image over here. You can see there's the grassy building. There's the route over to the helipad in the middle of the lagoon. It's very, very, very similar. It's really good stuff. Right, anyways, so this was InGen Lab Jurassic World Rebirth, all caps, made by Congaminator. Check it down at the link in the description, and I'll see you lovely folks very soon. Hope you've all had a lovely weekend and have a lovely week going forward. Cheers much as always. Bye-bye.